What is going on, everyone? Welcome. So just want to talk a little bit today on my little walk here. Just finished raining. You guys can see, still in Colombia, still in Laureles, and it rains pretty much every day in Medellin, at least a little bit, not that much. Usually it's pretty good. It'll stop. At nighttime is usually when I see the rain the most, but during the day generally it's pretty good, and you'll get a little bit of rain. So today I just want to tell you guys a little story, a little experience that I had that you might not be expecting when you come to Colombia. There's a lot of different things, a lot of people have questions about different things, and this is one thing that I didn't know, and I've been coming to Colombia for years now, over 10 years. And so basically when it comes to Colombia, and let me find a way to get somewhere where I'm not in front of everybody. Okay. Yeah, when it comes to Colombia, one thing that you guys are going to need to know is that everything here is laid back. In the US, we're very punctual. That means we'll be here on time. In Colombia, they're not so punctual. But also, when it comes to just waiting in line for things, when it comes to refunds, which is something that I didn't realize, they don't have that in Colombia. So if you go and you buy something, I went and I bought something from the store. I needed to get some clippers, so I bought those clippers, and they didn't work. It didn't turn on at all. Plugged it in, no power. And so what do you do in the US? You go and you exchange it, or you get a refund. In this situation, I just wanted to exchange it. I didn't want to get a refund, but I was talking to a friend of mine that lives out here, and we were at another store, and I was considering buying clippers at that store because I needed them right away, and then later go back and get a refund for the clippers that I bought at the other store. Well, that's when I found out. No refunds. So if you buy something in Colombia, you can get an exchange, but you can't get a refund. And so that's something that was news to me. So that was the first thing. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the experience of exchanging something at a store. This was a popular store in Colombia. Went to the mall, and I tried to get it exchanged. First we went to the cashier. She said, no, you need to go to this place. Still in the store. So we went to that place, and then they said, no, you need to go back to this place. And so we went to after going to 3 places, that's when we found out we were in the right place. And so we go ahead and go in there. And the funny part about it is, when I said we went to the cashier sent us to one place, and then the lady at that place sent us to another place, and then come to find out the place that the lady told us, no, you can't go. So the second place, the lady said, no, you can't do that here. We ended up going back there because we could do it there, but obviously she didn't know, or whatever. So once we got to the right place, then we ran into a long line. Not a long line. I won't say a long line, because it wasn't a long line. There was one person, and that one person took about 15 minutes for them to do the exchange, whatever they needed to do with that person. And so from that point, then we get up there and we tell them the whole situation. There's no power with the clippers. And so sure enough, there was no power. The guy there, he tried it out, no power, so he was going to go ahead and do the exchange, but it just took another 10 minutes for them to go through that whole process of doing an exchange, which I thought was like way too long for them just to put that information in. And we already had the other set of clippers that I wanted, and all he needed to do was do the exchange so I can get what I wanted. But it's just a process. So if you do come to Colombia and you plan to, wow, this is very, very slippery tile. you have tile everywhere in Colombia. Instead of just regular sidewalk, it's tile, or it's like here, this brick, and some of it is very, very slippery when it's wet. And so obviously I'm a rookie, so I'm walking really slow. These other guys are just walking right by me there. See, I just slipped right now because it's very, very slippery. You have to be very, very careful. So we went ahead, went through the whole process, got the exchange. But I just want you to know, when you come to Colombia, if you are interested in buying something that's very expensive, make sure you're comfortable with that, because that product, because if you buy it, it's yours. If it doesn't work, yes, you can do an exchange. But if you're in a situation where you want your money back, that's not necessarily going to happen. So just be aware of that. And I think that's first off, when you're in Colombia, just understand, if you're trying to buy electronics, it's going to be very, very expensive. It's not cheap. I would say it is more expensive to buy electronics in Colombia than it is in the US. And there's a very, very limited supply of the stuff that they have. They don't get stuff brand new like we do. As soon as things are released, they're out there, you know, in the US. No, it's not like that in Colombia. In Colombia, it's going to take a little bit of time before you see those products there. Just for example, GoPro 10, and I use GoPro cameras for my videos out here. GoPro 10, I haven't seen it yet, and it's been out for a while. I just went and bought batteries a couple of days ago, and I have a GoPro 9, so I went and bought batteries, and I was looking for the GoPro 9 batteries, so that's good. But GoPro 9 and GoPro 10, they're the same battery, or they use the same battery. But anyway, when I bought my batteries, I ended up getting GoPro 9 batteries because they didn't have GoPro 10. I think GoPro 10 batteries are extended or something, I don't know. But anyway, just giving you kind of an idea of things when it comes to Colombia. You're not always going to be able to get the latest electronics, so just be aware of that as well. And at this point, I can't really recommend buying electronics, especially if they're expensive, $200–300. I wouldn't recommend doing that, because if you get stuck with something that doesn't work, or if you use it and you find out that you don't like it, like in the US, you have 30 days, you can take it back and get your money back. That's not going to happen in Colombia. So just be careful of that when you're buying items, expensive items. But yeah, I just wanted to share that video with you. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's different. It's just different out here. And you have to understand another thing too about Colombians. They don't complain a lot. And I see that now, like when I look at like the difference between people in the US and people in Colombia, one of the things that I see now is, in the US, we complain about everything. In Colombia, they don't do that. Okay, a good example, we were at a restaurant, and my friend, she didn't like her meal, and so usually Colombians won't complain about it. They don't like it, they just won't eat it. But in her case, I said, no, we go ahead and get something else, don't worry about it. And another thing, like I said, no refunds, right? So if you get a meal and it's not to your liking, you can get another meal, but you're gonna have to pay for both meals. You're not going to get like they're not going to give you credit or anything like that, or give you your money back for that first meal. So just be aware of that too. You're going to pay for all meals. Now, meals are very, very inexpensive in Colombia. We walked away from the table. We had 3 meals because I had her order another one. So we had 3 meals plus 2 drinks plus the appetizer, and it was like $15. Okay, so it's not very expensive, but just be aware of that. When it comes down to meals, yeah, refunds, period. You're not getting a refund. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. I just wanted to give you guys a little experience when it comes to trying to exchange things in Colombia. It's not going to be easy, and it was almost, I almost got the impression that they don't do it very often, and that goes along with the whole Colombians not complaining about things. I just had that feeling that, you know what, they don't do this that much. And like I said, when we got in line, there was only one person ahead of us. It took them a long time, but there was still only one person. So, you know, usually if you go to a store, especially in the middle of the day, you're gonna have a lot of people in that line to get exchanges and things like that. So, all right, guys, that's all I have for you. Please subscribe, hit the little bell notification, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.